like people pleasing and the fear of perceptions are part of the things that held me back in. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It is good to have you here. I actually just finished filming another video. I don't know if I'm gonna be posting it before or after this one, but it was a makeup one, and I was like, you know what, while I still have the time and the face, because I hardly look like this in my videos. I'm really just like, actually this sounds like a good something to record, and I record and I don't even do anything but like while I still have this face. um I just wanted to share with you guys a little bit of something that has been altering my brain chemistry, but really not that deep, but just a little something that I have gotten to learn as well. One of my first videos that I had posted for this year, I spoke about seasons and the importance of understanding the seasons. And if you haven't checked that out, go ahead and check it out. But if I just want to elaborate a little bit more on that, but not that specifically, but one thing that I have gotten to learn about myself, and it wasn't something pleasant, I must say. And yeah, so last year I went through therapy, intense therapy. It was like the third ever therapist that I ever had in my life, and her methods was unique. Her methods were quite unique. It was like nothing that I'm used to, because the two therapists before, they were just a little, I don't know how to put it. It would be like, okay, why are you here? Because those are the questions I ask you. Why are you here? Oh, I'm here because this and this happened to me. Oh, okay. At least with the therapist. The other one, I don't remember the sessions much. But with this one, her methods are like, she just asks you, how did you grow up? And then you go through your entire childhood, your family life, your primary school, even as far as high school. And her methods are based off making you understand that who you are is mostly based off the first 6 years of your life. Your way of thinking comes from that, and those kind of things. So with her, she goes a little bit deeper into those things, and a lot of what she does, she makes you realize things like that, your how you grew up and things that affected you, and why you think the way you think because of that. She'll be like, I don't know, things like that. I don't want to go too into detail, but after those therapy sessions, I think for me is where a lot of my healing began, because there were certain things that I had been like set free from, definitely without a doubt. It was things that no longer had a hold on me, but I would still react to situation into life because of those stuff. So in as much as they didn't have a hold on me, I didn't feel burdened by them. But it's like I I didn't fully release them. Let me say that. This is whether my ways of thinking, forgiveness, like not letting something define me, not letting what had happened in my life define me. Those are the things that like I got to deal really deep in. Things like people pleasing, the fear of perception, like besides the whole mental health thing that I mentioned in the video about seasons, like people pleasing and the fear of perceptions are part of the things that held me back in terms of doing YouTube full time or consistently, whatever. Because it would be such small things that I'd want to do, but there would be the fear of how I'll be received and things like that. And these are the stuff that were holding me back. And it wasn't just with content creation, it goes as far as work and putting myself out there. And I think this is something that a lot of people struggle with, and not in this specific manner, but in ways that people don't get to realize. And to just even get a little bit more into that, I am someone who grew up being super, what's up everybody? I was that kid who, if we had a new neighbor, I would go to the house and knock and be like, hi, and welcome to the neighborhood. Do you have any kids? Tell them they can come play with us. That was me. I would go to my friend's house and just chill with their parents. And like I'd go to my friend's house if they're sleeping, then I'd just chill with their parents and talk with them. In primary school, I would talk to everybody. Same thing with high school as well. Like I was that girl who was cool with everybody. Obviously, not everybody would be cool with me, but I loved just I would let people in a lot. Um, I would just take in people, uh, and be empathetic. Obviously, talk to people, allow people to lean on me a lot, but only towards later in life is where you become so self-aware of certain things that little parts of yourself who you know are true to who you know you are, or even who you're called to be, it's like they get scathed, or it's like piece by piece, because we're constantly discovering ourselves. You know, because now in discovering ourselves, sometimes we lose parts of ourselves that are so essential to who we truly are. And that's what I realized had happened to me. I know people now who meet me later or even before or later. These people do not describe me as an introvert. People describe me as an extrovert. I believe I'm an introvert, but I know I am. But this is just so to say that this is how people receive me. But because of what has happened in my life, my reaction to this is that please just stay away. Because what I realized to me is that I got what is compassion fatigue. And I ended up being so fatigued by having to carry people to a point where I ended up being a really terrible friend, actually. And it was unfortunately something that would happen over the course of a little over a year, because there was so much with myself that I was dealing with and having to truly understand. And I had a friend who went through something similar. And now that I'm on the outside of that, I understand why I was received the way that I was received by certain friends. But now, like I said, that my mental health is a way better position. I generally think I have the ability to be a better friend. And that's just one of the things that had happened to me. And the other thing that I also had to learn, and by the way, these are all the things that I learned throughout therapy through the help of my therapist. One other thing that I eventually got to learn is that, or rather, through all of it, through um, that therapy journey and like going through the season that I just went through, is that I do not want my life to be a product of life happening. That when life lives, let it life. It can life around me, but I do not want my life to be a product of that. Just to clarify, this is how I'm defining lifing, just from the context in which I am referring to it in the video. I want to be the person who is in control of how things go. And the truth is, that can't always be the case. I mean, I had to learn that the hard way. A lot of my life went in the direction that I never thought it would. And I had to relinquish control to God, obviously. And that's the stuff I had to learn. But basically, with the things that I can control, one thing that I realized my life was becoming, what was a product of life happening to me. It was a product of the rejections that would happen to me. It was a product of the hurt that would happen to me. It was a product of the fear that I had. And I knew for a fact that that is not true to who I know I'm called to be. It's not true to who I know I am. And a lot of this I'm realizing because I have so many notebooks. I think some are from first year varsity. That's where I still had a lot of dreams in life. But it's coming back to me now. And I had this notebook my good friend Vitumelo bought for me. It was so random even. And it has all my dreams. The things I aspired to. It has my bucket list. Like, because how I categorize my journals is like I have one for writing my dreams, one for work, one for like devotion. I think I mentioned this, I could have, I don't know. But in this one, I go through it from time to time, and it has my resolutions as well, where like I have my resolutions for there. This is what I want to do, this is what I want to achieve. And I just remember just now, not too long ago, I was going through it and I'm like, there was so much hope in the girl who was writing these things. There was so much expectations. There was so much, yes, I can do this. I have the ability to do this. And unfortunately, what happens is that life happens. And now, from time to time, I go through these things and I'm like, these are the dreams that I used to have for myself. Why have I gotten to a point where I partially believe that they are not possible to attain? You know? And these were the things that I had to have conversations with and, you know, and like dig deep, obviously, in my prayer time as well, and be like, okay, like burden me with me. Actually, that's a quote from Stephanie Ike from a sermon I was listening to this past week, where a lot of these also just came to mind as well. I'm like, actually, God, burden me with what you have placed in my heart that I know for a fact I have the capability of doing, that I know I have been called to do, but because of lifing, I allowed myself to just go with the flow of life, and I do not want that to be the truth for myself. But yeah, so going through that, those notes are, these are the things that I realized, and I would have conversations with people, and things like talking about returning to self. You know, you hear people speak of, when I was young, I still love doing this, and I genuinely thought I'd always do this, and I'd ask questions like, why do you not? Like small things like, I wanted to paint. Like, why don't you paint? Buy some paint at toy store. Get toy store. Get crazy store. Yes. You buy your paint at crazy store. You paint away, chat. Okay. And it's little things like these that we lose because of lifing. And before I ramble and go on and on, because I just thought I should just come on here and let somebody know that there is something that has been placed in your heart for a really long time, for whether you were young or in your later years of life and life happened and you're like, ugh, you put it on the back burner. I genuinely hope that after seeing this video, let this be a sign that put it back in the front, work on that very dream. You know, there's certain things that are actually bigger than us, and it's really important that because it was something that was put on our heart for our purpose on this earth, that we walk in it and we step in it, so that if it's making generational impact, let it. But all I'm saying is, don't let life happen to the point where your whole life is just you going with the current and the flow. If you have the ability to, at some point, just pause, Selah, and be the one who is able to take control and go on ahead and soar ahead with what you know has been planted in your heart, what you have been called for, what you know you have the capability for before life happened the way that it did. But other than that, that's it for me, you guys. I genuinely hope that you have a good week coming up ahead, and see you next time. Don't forget to like, share, comment down below. It's time to live again and dream again, okay?